You likely know him from Van Halen. Today we're joined by the Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar. Hey there. I've heard you've got a bit of a soft spot for Detroit.
Oh, come on. I honestly, Detroit was when in Montrose back in the 70s, early 70s, 72, 73, was we just always look forward to going to Detroit because they had the best audiences. You'd just play some places back then, people didn't know how to act when you were really rocking and you didn't talk to the people, you just crushed them and 15, 20 minutes on stage. But in Detroit, people went nuts and they sang along. It's like it was rock and roll capital of the world to me. And I was surprised, like I said, when they didn't put the Hall of Fame there. And that's the God's truth.
Hey,
I
we're
got a lot of heat from
flattered.
Cleveland, but never mind.
Love to hear that. All right, we are talking to you today because you made a big announcement this week, making a lot of people happy. You've taken on the tequila world in the past, but now you're breaking into craft beer. What's it called? Where is this new beer being brewed?
It's called Red Rocker Lager, and that's just the first release. We'll make an IPA and we'll make a what I like Belgian whites. I want to make beer that I like because a lot of people say, "Well, Sammy, I didn't think you liked beer." I said, "Well, I don't like most beers. I really don't. But every now and then you get a good craft beer, and to me, it's about it being fresh." So anyway, it's the old Detroit Brewing Company, and now it's Red Rocker Brewing Company, and we're gonna we're gonna crush it. It's just gonna be, we'll be able to ship online. The idea is to have it be fresh all the time. So we're just staying in Michigan for now, and a few shipping out to some nearby areas until we find partners in other states that will brew it there with my recipe, and and so it's always fresh. That's the whole idea of beer. It's got to be fresh. You get some old stale beer. It's like, yeah, that's terrible beer. Well, it might be good beer. It just went bad on the shelf. And it's, we're going to be additive free and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited. I can't tell you how excited I am because I've been trying to make beer since before tequila.
Oh,
And
wow.
I found out that it's really a hard business to get into because of the shelf space, because of the fact that it does go bad. And, shelf life and distribution. It takes up a lot of real estate. You don't sell in a six pack into a liquor store. You sell like 20 cases of it, and it takes up a lot of real estate. So the big boys have all that real estate um, sewed up. So we're going to go about it differently. We're going to stay small and stay great, and just try to make the best beer in the world and in America anyway. And it's American made. Come on, Detroit, American made. Rockin' lager. Come on.
I love
Yeah,
that you
I'm
said some
excited.
people were confused, like, hey, you don't love beer. Well, that's why you had to make your own, one that you love. What was that process like, developing the taste, and how would you describe the taste? I know it's a Mexican style beer.
Yeah, because I like Modelo more than like Corona or Tecate. Those are too light. I don't like light beers, but I don't like heavy IPAs either. So the idea was to find something in between. And one of the tricks is you take a good full-bodied or medium-bodied lager from Mexico, or like same thing. It would be like more like a Pilsner from Germany or somewhere. And I like Pilsner too. And and just added a little sweetness. So getting that sweetness right was really the trick, because you don't want sweet beer, for God's sakes. But sometimes beer's too bitter, and like for me, IPAs are too bitter. It's like I make my mouth dry, and they're okay with food, but I like to wash down a taco with something got a little bit of sweetness in there to make the salt and the spice come out better in the food.
Sounds delicious.
I'm a
Something.
nut. You realize this. I'm a food and beverage nut. Everything's got to be
We love it
perfect.
though. We love it. Hey, it makes me
Well,
feel like you're the perfect guy for this. So, some people may not know this. You are widely credited as the first celebrity to create, to own a spirits brand. That was back in the 90s, right? I mean, where would Kendall
in the
Jenner be
80s.
without
It was
you?
in
Oh,
the
in the
80s.
80s. Okay.
Yeah. I built Cabo Wabo in 1988, wrote the song with Van Halen. Eddie and I wrote the song Cabo Wabo. I was in Cabo. I bought a house down there in the mid 80s, about 83. And I lived down there a lot. So uh, I wanted to build the Cabo Wabo, and I wanted it to be a tequila bar. And so then I decided, well, if I'm going to have a tequila bar, I might as well have my own tequila. So I went to Jalisco and I developed my own tequila, and had to bring the bottles in myself and all that stuff. It was really fun. I mean, it was just like building a house or something, or like writing. It's like making a record. So I really got in the habit of building things myself and not just putting my name on someone else's stuff. So when it came to beer, I mean, I was trying to make beer. I told you before that, but once I started making the tequila, I got the hook. I got the hook because it was the best tequila in the world, and I had my own place, and I'm serving my own tequila, and I wanted to serve my own beer, and like now I can finally do that too. We're shipping beer down to the birthday bash for in October, but we're also coming to Detroit, so y'all don't worry about that. We got you covered in Detroit.
I love that. Yeah, we want to let people know they can be somewhat involved with this. You've got a launch party in Detroit, October 23rd, featuring The Circle. Where and when can people get tickets for that? If they're not still available, hearts will be broken.
Oh, well, it's going to be some broken hearts tomorrow because they go on sale tomorrow morning with the pre-sale for the fans, for my website, redrocker.com. My fans get first choice because a lot of times when you play a small place like this, the
They'll sell more.
scalpers will come in and buy all the damn tickets and then quadruple the prices. And I hate that. So we give the fans the first shot at it. Tomorrow it's a pre-sale, and then the next day the actual sale goes on. But the pre-sale is probably going to sell out. I mean, it's a small place. I didn't mean to do it that way, but there wasn't any big places available. I think Kiss or somebody's playing in one of the big rooms we wanted, and yeah, it's kind of so we're just going to have a little party. But don't worry, I'll be back. We're announcing a big tour in November, but I can't announce it with you now. I'm just
All
telling
right.
you, in November, mid-November, you'll hear about a big tour when we'll be back in Detroit.
I'm going to write
Oh,
that
yeah.
down. Thank you so
Not
much.
November. We'll announce the tour in November. The
Yeah.
tour is next year.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, my uncle, who's out in Tacoma, Washington, is probably going to pass out when he hears I spoke with you today. And he's also going to demand that you start selling this in kegs. He's a big keg guy. He's going to need a
Oh,
Red
it's in.
Rocker
No, we're
keg.
shipping kegs. That's
Okay.
my favorite part of this. Oh, yeah, the kegs are the best because that's where you get the most beer. You get it fresh, you keep it cold, and we can ship a big keg somewhere, and you guys can throw a party for a whole week, And I'm glad you said your uncle, not your grandpa.
No.
I have the hardest time of being around so long, being the old Red Rocker here. But that when I run into these young girls and stuff on the beach, I'll go for a walk on the beach with my wife, and some young girls will come up, some 20-year-olds, and they going, "Oh, Sammy, can we take a picture with you?" And I'm going, "Oh yeah." I'm going, "Hey, this is great." I still got young people following me. They go, then while we're holding and taking a picture, they say something like, "My mother, she's just in love with you." But I've even heard my grandmother or my
You have fans of all generations. Oh, I think you may have froze there a little bit, but I was just about to wrap. Sammy Hagar. Oh, there he is. Also known as the Red Rocker, now with the Red Rocker Lager. Thanks so much for being with us today. It was a good time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure. I love Detroit.
We'll
Yum,
see you
yum.
soon. Yeah.